Hi everyone, welcome to Tammy's Creative Cards and Crafts. I'm Tammy, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial today on this cute little card, little birthday card that you can put together. It's called a telescopic card. You can put it together really quickly, and I did some prep work so you don't have to watch me cut out stuff and everything, but I'll give you the measurements and everything, and then we'll kind of put it together as we go along here. So what we're going to start with is I found, actually this was gifted to me by a sweet friend of mine, Michelle, and she gave me this cute little book, Sandy Paws, and it's got all kinds of cute little seaside paper and stuff in here. And so I picked this little paper out that had the crabs on this one here with the little sand castles. So I thought that was really cute. So we're going to be using that. And I also have these little packet of these wood shapes, and there was a few different ones in here. And I picked out the little sand castle that I'm going to use on the front. And there's a little pail and shovel and a crab. And so we're going to use those for the front. If you hear scratching, that's Nelson over there scratching on the chair. Probably because Mommy's not paying attention to him. So if you hear any noises, that's Nelson trying to get my attention. So we'll just keep going here. Of course, if you don't have this designer paper, you can use any designer paper, any theme. You don't have to have these pieces. You can use die cuts. You can use whatever you like to decorate the front of your card. I'm just showing you this telescopic method, so you can incorporate that to whatever designer paper you're going to use, and I'll show you that as we're going along. So I'm using this die set here, and this is a Stampin' Up set. It's called Stitch So Sweetly Dies, and I use these 3 smaller ones that come in the set. So you're going to take the 3 smaller ones. Now, like I said, if you have other ones, like maybe I had a round set here. If you have a round set, if you have square ones, like here's a round set, an oval set that I have, it doesn't matter. You are the creator of your card, and you can make it however you want. I'm just showing a little technique that you can do, and it ends up making it really cute. So what you're going to do, you're going to start and have a card base. So your card base, of course, is a standard card size at, you're going to cut your paper at 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to score it at 4 1/4. Okay, so that'll give you your card base. I'm using this red that coordinates with the little crabs on here. Then you're going to have a background piece, or your first layer, and this piece measures 5 1/4 by 4. And when that's layered on here, you'll see it's going to have a nice little border on there. And then you're going to pick your designer paper, whatever you choose to go with. So this one, I'm using the little sand castles on the beach, and it has the little crabs here. And that one is cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, and just before it would have been cut out, you could see how that fits right inside that first layer. And then when you layer it on top of the card base, each of them have like a cute little frame going all the way around. Okay, so what you do with the designer paper is you take your 3 little dies, And you're going to place them. Now just imagine this paper. I'll just use this blank piece of paper here. So imagine this is your designer paper, and you're going to put your die down. You're going to take your next one, you're going to put it inside, and you're going to make it even on your card piece. Make sure that the inside is even, and then put your middle one inside of that. And you might have to maneuver it a little bit just to get everything even. It might take a second to make sure that everything is spaced. Okay? And I'm picky, so just take a second. Now, what I like to use to keep everything in place, and this may not be straight, but I'm just showing you what you have to do here, is I like using these little Post-its because I find they have a very low stick on here, and I sometimes, if you use tape or whatever, the tape can tear part of your cardstock off. So what I like to do is just hold that down in place and take a piece of Post-it, go over the 3 layers and kind of push that down, and you see that's holding that in place. And then I'll get another one here, and if it shifts, you know, just take it off and fix it there. And then take the other Post-it and put it down the bottom and put it over there. Now when you're putting this through your die cutter, that'll hold it in place when you put it in your sandwich in your die cutter. That should hold it in place. And essentially when you put this through, you only have to put this through once. What will happen is, I'm just going to take these off because I don't need to do this again. What will happen is you will end up with it looking like this, with all your pieces cut out. So you have your larger one, your next size down, and then your small little piece there. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do, and just to go back a tip, you're going to have a little scrap piece that comes, if you're using a 6x6, when you cut your designer paper here, there'll be a little scrap piece on the end when you cut that to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Keep this because you're going to use that later to put on the inside as a little design. Okay, so just keep that. Just put it to the side. So the next thing you're going to do is we're going to adhere our first layer to our base. Okay, now you may want your card open this way. I'm happening to do it horizontally, so I'm just going to use some double stick tape. Now you can use glue or whatever you like for adhesive. This just happens to be, this is just easy. So just center it as best you can. Take your time, you know, do this at a time when you're not rushed. Okay, and so you have your first layer on there. So the next thing you want to do is take your designer paper, and now you'll have the hole in there, and you're going to put some tape on the back of that. Okay. And you're going to center that inside your first layer. This paper is really cute. Okay. So now, essentially what you want to do is try to have, to get this telescopic look to it, is you want to have the outside, or the biggest die cut, a little bit higher then the next die cut, and then you're going to put this one just glued down. So I have these Stampin' Up! Foam adhesive strips, and then I also have these Stampin' Up! Mini dimensionals. So the strips are a bit higher than the dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these strips, and you'll see when I put them through here. So I'm just going to take one of these strips and I'm going to cut it so that it goes all the way around. Just going to put that to the side. Okay. So just put it right along there. And you don't want any hanging over, of course. And take this other longer strip, put it, that actually cut that perfect. That doesn't happen very often. And then take another little piece to fit on each end. A little bit too long. I knew I wasn't going to get that lucky. Okay, so just fit that right in there. Now the only thing that you might see is when this is all together, and I will show you, is, and if you mind this, all you need to do is take like one of your markers or whatever, and you can color it the color of your cardstock. You might see when your card is standing up the side of your foam tape, but like I said, if that bothers you, you can go and take a marker and color it the same color as this, and you won't notice it as much, but it doesn't really bother me, so I'm just going to end up leaving it. And where the cardstock is a lighter color anyways, I think it'll be fine. And I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get this put together. Just peel these off. Okay, so what you're going to do is go in here and place that exactly where that kind of popped out. Okay, so that now stands up really nicely. It looks kind of crooked, but I try to fix it. If not, it's not a big deal. Who cares? Okay. It's not the end of the world. I think it looks all right. Okay. Okay, so now we have that one coming up there. And then now we have this one, which I'm going to use the dimensional size. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to cut out all those little dimensionals. That would be crazy. But what ends up happening, now this happens to be a new pack, but you know, when you're using your dimensionals, you end up with a piece on the edge. So that's what I'm going to use, is just cut a little strip going along the edge that I can use, the same as almost these, but as you can see, hopefully the camera picks this up, those are not as thick as these ones are. Okay, so I'm just going to glue these down the same way. Okay. Put it on this side. And just while I'm doing this, I wanted to mention, I have been watching videos and stuff like that, and I love watching other videos. And I noticed that, and of course I would never call out this person about their channel or anything, but I noticed that I was watching a channel the other day, and the person said, you know, how they were doing a project or whatever, and they said, oh, somebody commented that other people were doing their projects and how they're copying, not me, like this other person. And the person actually took a bit of offense that somebody might be, you know, watching their channel and then going and copying off of them and doing it on their channel. And this has nothing to do with me. This is just a comment that I heard, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to mention that on my channel because, and I'd like you guys to comment yourself on my channel, because my feeling on this is I come on here to create and share with everybody that comes and visits my channel and that has subscribed, and I'm very grateful for that. And I am totally flattered by the fact that you would take anything that you might see on my channel and go to your channel and show somebody else. I think that's the ultimate flattery that you could possibly do, where somebody else takes that as, you know, that's a betrayal of some sort. And I don't know. I just don't agree with that. Maybe some people, I'm sure there's people that don't share my same thoughts, and I would love to hear that. But I just feel like everybody is doing their own thing on their channels, and you know, if you're putting it on a public site, then you should be able to go and create it on your own channel and share it with somebody else. I think that is the ultimate flattery of seeing something that you really like and enjoyed. I think that the only thing I believe that if you've seen something on somebody else's channel, maybe give them a little shout out to say, you know, I seen this on somebody else's channel today and I thought it was a really great idea and I wanted to share it with you. And this is the such and such channel that I seen it on. So that's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. What's your thoughts on that? So as you can see, I put the lower dimensional adhesives on that one. And you can see how now it's going down further, giving this telescopic look to this card, which is really cute. And so now you have your bottom layer, your third cut, and you're not going to put any dimensionals on that. You're just going to put regular adhesive on here and just get that right in the groove of your cut there. And because that's a dimensional in there, it's going to stick down. And if it just try to push it all down in there. And you can see that it gives it this almost like 3D effect, which I think is really cool. You can see that. And this is what I was talking about, where you can see like the foam tape, but that's only if, you know, you might see it at the top. But if that bothers you, color it in, you know, with your same color up there. It doesn't bother me. If I'm giving a card to somebody and they're bothered by that little bit of foam tape, then maybe you should rethink that person that you're giving it to. So what I have done is I'm using this stamp set here. This is a stamping, and I am not a Stampin' Up representative or anything, but I do have a lot of Stampin' Up stuff. But this is one of the stamp sets that I had, and it's called Seize the Day. And it had like a little sentiment. It says, seize the day. And so I took my little ticket punch here and punched it out, stamped on there, and I'm going to center that right in there and just glue that right down, right in there. You can see that I tried it out on the back there just to make sure I had it centered, because that's what you can do. If you want to, if it doesn't look right to you, flip it over. And nobody knows the difference. Only you. So there, does not look cute with the little seize the day, and it sees like the sea. So I think that looks adorable. And then, like I said, I had this little sand castle, which I think would look so cute right there. So I'm going to attach that. Some glue. And for whatever reason, my power just flickered off, so hopefully this video doesn't end. And we have this adorable little pail and shovel. So I'm going to put this maybe right up here. It looks really cute. And I mean, isn't that adorable? So inside, I took this corresponding or coordinating cardstock. It's almost like the color of the sand. And I stamped happy birthday on there. And so all I'm going to do is, now for the inside, it's the same cut as your first layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4. And like I said, I just stamped happy birthday. And this is using this extra little strip that was left over from this cut of your designer paper. So I'm just going to adhere that. And you're not going to pop that out unless you choose to. But I'm just going to tape that down. Now I'm going to leave a little space over here just for decorative. Just to make it look a little nicer. So it makes like a little border. And then because it has the cute little crabs there, actually it might have got darker here. Let me put the light on. Sorry about that because the power went out. It has the little crabs. I thought, oh, I'm going to put the little crab right here. Isn't that sweet? Or maybe I'll put it up here. Maybe I'll put it up here because people usually sign here. So adhere that. And put him right up there. I think that is adorable. So just going to adhere that. And these silly, these are the ones from the dollar store. Sometimes they work good, sometimes not. But you get them for $1, so. Okay. So we're just going to put that inside, center it, so you have a nice border. Now, when I sell my cards at a craft sale or a craft show, what I do is I photocopy the inside of my card just on regular paper. And when I package my cards, I put them with the envelope, and then I have the piece of paper with the photocopy on the back, and they're in plastic sleeves, so people handling them don't get them dirty or whatever, and you can still see what's inside without having to open the card. It's just a neat little tip. But there's our little telescopic card with the little Sandy Paws designer paper. And I hope you enjoyed. Oh, there's one more thing that I left out. Of course, the CEO has to sign all my cards. One other tip that I always mention, or I try to mention, is when you have your ink pads, always store your ink pads upside down. Never this way. Because what happens is your ink pads dry out. And I am being totally honest with you when I tell you that I've had this ink pad for probably at least 12 years. And that's no word of a lie. I store it upside down. I don't know if this is a magic pad or what it is, but I use it every time that I put the CEO's signature on every card, and I've made thousands of cards. And that is the same ink pad I bought back when I first started making cards. There's his little signature and his actual paw print that was sized down so it could make a stamp with the Tammy Creation. So I don't know if it's a magic pad or what it is, but it's never been re-inked. It's still, and it's, I don't know, maybe you want to pick one up. It's Memento Tuxedo Black. But all my ink pads, I store them upside down, and I get lots of life out of them. So if that's a little tip that I can pass on to you, then I hope it works for you. I hope you enjoyed the cute little card today, the telescopic look. And I welcome you back. If you're not a subscriber of my channel, please subscribe, and please share with a friend. And I look forward to seeing you very soon and sharing more tips and ideas with cards, sewing, or just helpful hints that I can pass on. God bless and have a great day. Bye-bye.